Okay, so I am going to mock up accessories panel. The first thing I need to put on is this will be a sheet of masonite, but I'm just doing it on in 3D just so I can show y'all, and I'm also kind of thinking in my head how I'm going to get this done. The circle on the left is going to be a voltage monitor plug that also has a USB A and a USB C charger built into it, and it's got the voltage regulation inside the module, so I can plug in my phone or anything really that'll charge via USB, flashlights and that kind of stuff. I can charge off the main power supply. And I'm putting in here now is it's a representation of an Anderson power pole connector. I'll do a deal on Anderson power poles, but they're known by other names. They're nothing really new. They've been adapted in the last 20 years or so, I guess, for ham radio. These smaller connectors. It's essentially the same connector that's just miniaturized. What you'd see on electric forklift. It's the big battery disconnects for chargers, or I've seen them on winches and stuff like that. Anything that pulls a lot of current. These they're good for 15, 30, or they say up to 45 amps. I've never put 45 amps through one, but certainly 15 to 30 amps be fine with. I've got one on the board right here, and I've got another outlet. It's a 3D printed little box with a bunch of these in it, and they're all soldered together, and I'm probably going to use that as my main power source. But there'll be a couple of auxiliaries that come out the front of the panel, so that's what I'm modeling up here. And I've also got one at this point I'm thinking of how I'm going to put the actual mics for the radios. I need to be able to hang them out of the way when I'm not talking on one. And also, as far as real estate on the front of this rig, I want to leave a spot where I can put like a small memo pad. I don't know what the dimensions are, like a 5x7, or I don't know, just not a full size, not a full sheet of paper. Because you always want to keep a log, station log, and you want to have pencil and paper handy, especially if you have to take an actual traffic, official traffic. Like if I'm working an event where I have to, if I'm calling in supplies to the Red Cross or my local hospital, and if I'm working at a triage center and they need a medication, well, I need something. I need to the doctor or the nurse that needs that medication. I need them to write it down in legibly, so that when I call it in, I can be sure that I call it in correctly. And there's radiograms, there's official ways to do it. But if I'm just taking notes directly from the doctor, I want to be able to write it down and then translate that into a radiogram, and then transmit that as official traffic over the radios by whatever means. Probably will be voice, but so that's what you always want, a piece of paper nearby and a pencil. So right now I'm looking at building a peg of some sort. One of my radios has got a hook, like an open eye hook. I think the big radio is the one that's got the open eye hook. So I need a peg to hang that one on, and then the other red box that's on the screen here is representing the it's the traditional CB hanger, the forked hanger that it's a little button on the back of the hand mic. I was thinking when I started this, I was going to put this on top to the right of the radios, but the more I think about it, I think I'm going to put it down on below the radios, so I leave that top open, because I've got a battery compartment that I've just 3D printed, and I'll show you that here in one of these videos. That's going to go probably right behind this panel, and I need some way that I can affix it. But it doesn't need to move much, so I'm thinking that's what I want to do. and this is all subject to change, of course.